What's up? I'm the Empathetic Chicken, and this is going to be a process video of how I've been assembling the guidebooks for my Chicken Transition Oracle deck, which is still in the making, and as you'll see, there's a process. So I just thought I'd share that for people who are interested, or for anybody who might want to take this method and adapt it to use like for their own projects. Like, I think this is a pretty simple way to make a book. So as you can see, I'm folding the pages. Well, first I'm sorting them into their different signatures. So for this book, I ended up doing like 3 signatures. And the signature is basically just like a collection of pages that you fold together. And then you just put your other signatures with that to make the whole book. So it's not like the problem I had in my other video was how it was so thick, and when I folded it, it was just kind of like open, it wouldn't close. So I figured out the signatures, and that's helped a lot. Yeah, so once they're all folded and I got all the signatures put together, then I have to staple them. And I was using, like, I had a long arm stapler, but as you can see, it's kind of like broken because I was stapling with it and then it just got jammed. And so somehow, like, I stuck a butter knife in there trying to like dig out the staple, but then something snapped and like the spring popped out, and I don't even know if I got all the pieces to it, but I just can't figure out how to put it back together. So I ended up using a regular stapler. And I actually wasn't at my house when I was filming this. I was house sitting for a friend, so luckily she had a stapler laying around, and because the books are so small, like I can fit it in there and staple the crease without needing the book folder or the long arm stapler. So yeah, that was good. So I just went through and stapled each of the signatures so that when I go to assemble them, they won't be like flying all over the place, and like I wouldn't have to sew them, because like I know in like regular bookmaking, I'm sure people would say to stitch them instead, but like I'm lazy, so I was like, I'm gonna just staple them just to like give that reinforcement, and it'll like speed up the process a little bit, because like it's already taken forever. So I was like, anything I can do like that's still good quality to like shorten this process, I'm gonna do. So that's why I decided to just staple them all and then put the glue on the spine. After I finish stapling all the pages, then I'll kind of stack them together and try to make it as neat as possible so the spine is really flat. And then I have like this little rigged setup. Like I know most people making books probably have like a book press, but I don't. So I was just finding some trash I had around the house and making me a little setup. So I just have these 2 little sticks of wood and then C-clamps, and then on my other one over there I have like these lamp clamps. I don't know if like those little utility lamps, somehow the lamp shade part came off of it, and I just kind of kept the clamps because I'm just like a hoarder like that. Like if there's something I can use, I'm gonna keep it. And so I ended up needing them for this, so it worked out. But yeah, I just like stick the books in between the wood and like clamp them in between there so that I can put the glue on, and then they can dry. Once they're dry, they look pretty much the same, but they just have that little glue on the edge, and it just keeps them kind of together and more book-like. And so after I have all those, like I would have put the covers on, but I didn't have them with me. So after I get home, I'm going to print out the covers. Here are the covers. I just made like a little template for myself in Word, and once I created the image, I just scanned it in, and then I made these little guidelines for like folds, and then that's obviously going to be the spine, and then these are where I can kind of like crease with my bone folder so that I know where to glue, because I put glue like down these sides to make the creases, you know? I mean, I wish I had like this is an older one, but like these little crease thingies. Yeah, so that's that. And like they're coming out. I trim those down, get them down to their size, and then go on to the creasing I was talking about. And so I just use a straight edge and then take that little tool that's called a bone folder, and I just like score down the lines, the little guidelines that I made, and then just fold along those. I mean, it's pretty self-explanatory. You can see what I'm doing, hopefully, but I'm just like trying to be thorough here. See, I just like fold in one direction, like to get the creases, or to get the spine, and then fold in the other direction where I scored to get like that little flap or whatever. And then that's what they look like when they're done. Got the little spine, so I know where to glue the inside of the book. So the next step is just gluing them. So I'm using Elmer's glue all for like all the gluing, just because, I don't know, I always heard that was a good glue. It's supposed to be like archival or whatever, that fancy word for like it'll last. So just I paint that spine crease I made, and then just like put the little contents in there and press it. And I haven't really had to like clamp it in between anything. I just kind of make sure it's pretty secure and like make sure it's making good contact and all that. Let them dry a little bit, and then I move on to cutting the edges, because when I glue the signatures they kind of get uneven and they stick out of the cover, so I have to just like trim them down and make them look nice and straight. So I'm just using my little box cutter and a straight edge to just trim as straight as possible. Try not to cut my fingers, because I've done it before and it hurts, but I'm pretty much used to it by now. Sometimes even when I trim them, they don't look like perfectly even, so that's when I can like sand them, and I just use like some sandpaper on like a block of wood, or if you got one of them little sandy things that attaches to the sandpaper, you can do that. Or like if you have like a nail file, that works pretty good. But yeah, that's like the final step to make sure they're good and presentable. I hope this was interesting at the very least, or helpful, like if you're kind of working on a similar project or something, or just wanted to learn something new. Like hopefully it was good. So if you have any questions or just want to like have a conversation, feel free to say so in the comments. All right, thanks for being here. See you.